Hi everybody, I'm outside. Just a thought for the day. Regarding the question, does God care how we treat each other? The answer is obviously yes. We discussed that with the Tower of Babel versus the flood, and Sodom and Gomorrah. And the way it goes, if God sees us unified and making a big mistake like the Tower of Babel, he just scatters us, doesn't kill us off. But with the flood and Sodom, he destroyed those. He destroyed the world in the flood, and Sodom's the particular city that was abusing strangers coming through, and even the people who lived there. And another example I wanted to bring that occurred to me this morning was the time period we live in, the time period that we're going through right now, counting the Omer. It's the period of time between Passover and Shavuot when we receive the Torah. So part of it, the first part of this Omer period, is known for, unfortunately, the plague that killed 24,000 of Rabbi Akiva students. And what's amazing is these were the top students. These are Rabbi Akiva students, right? How could they have made such a mistake? And the Talmud tells us that the mistake they made was they didn't respect each other enough. And that's pretty amazing to say, right? So the fact that the Talmud can record that they didn't respect each other enough should teach us a very important lesson. It's not about how much Torah you know, because that didn't save them. The question is, how do we treat each other? That's what's fascinating. And the nice thing about this period of time of the Omer is we're counting toward the giving of the Torah, where we get the how-tos. How do we do this life that we've been given? And the ethical part and the Torah and the mitzvot that we also have to take care of. So we have this period of time of reflection, where this first part of the Omer, the first 32 days, we're in mourning for those that were lost in the plague. And then we take that lesson and we say, okay, how can we improve on this? What's the takeaway? Because the Torah is great, but if we're not actually changing our lives from what we learned, what does it mean, right? So we're also learning the Pirkei Avot during this time period between Passover and Shavuot to prepare ourselves to get the Torah. So it's interesting. We're learning the ethical piece to get the mitzvot piece that we get 7 weeks after the Passover holiday. So it's pretty cool if you realize how important the ethical piece of the Torah is. We need the ethical piece, building on that piece to get the Torah and the mitzvot that we get at Shavuot. So, obviously, we should learn something. The takeaway is, actually, the Rambam, Maimonides, says, in his letter to his son, when you finish learning a piece of Torah, you should think to yourself before you stand up, what did I learn and how can I apply it? So, a little bit of respect goes a long way. Even if it's, a difference of opinion. You might both be right. I know it's a shocker. You might both be right, but coming at it from different angles. And different people's experiences, biases give us a bias toward different subjects. Not necessarily in a good way, not necessarily in a bad way, but it gives us a different angle, a different experience, kind of gives us a different picture on something, but it might be a true angle. You should always check yourself, make sure your biases don't blind you to what's actually true. But in general, if you can both, the person you're talking to and to yourself, respect each other enough to allow the other person to also be right. Okay? Because they might be. They might not be. But it can be done in a way that doesn't hurt the other person. Anyway, hope all is well. I hope everybody gets outside a little bit because the weather's finally getting exciting. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Be well.